I'd like to call the meeting to order, special select board meeting Thursday, August 21st, 2025 at 9 AM here at the town hall. Need a motion to adopt the agenda. Is there any corrections or additions to the agenda?
Move to adopt the agenda is second.
Okay. All in favor of the agenda? Aye. Additional paving requests for proposals.
So I'll start this discussion by saying. We had talked about paving in front of the farm, but we had measured out 2 sections and. Because the grant for that work on 121. The grant amount was $200, but the bid price came in at 163, I think. So I had reached out to Megan at V-Trans who manages that grant, and she said that we could use money as long as we stay to paving on 121 between the village and Cambridgeport.
Okay.
However, if there was language in the original proposal with Basin Brothers for extending or having the town be able to change the quantity, we would be able to stick with them and just add that very easily.
Mhm.
We looked at the bids and all of the language that's not in there. So then she said if it were to be under this grant, we'd have to go out to bid again and start from scratch essentially. My concern with that is we had already talked to Basin Brothers about this paving
Mhm.
and they gave a price on it. So it makes it a little sticky. A little uncomfortable
Yeah.
because they've already,
Well, we don't have to take the lowest bid either.
and we don't necessarily have to go through the grant process. My only concern is. We probably shouldn't have reached out to Basin initially because it was gonna be over the $5,000, which is our procurement policy.
Mhm.
So,
That's the 800 feet we talked about.
yeah, 600 and then 850.
Oh.
Yeah,
Now, when we first talked about that, we were talking about it under the general fund, not under the grant.
we were, yeah, and that's still a possibility. We can still go that route and not even touch the grant money.
Or is there other areas on 121, do we do that and then try to use the grant for?
Not really.
Fine, we have it in general fund,
In the general fund,
yeah,
not very much.
like was not very much.
The problem. I should have asked Ken this morning, but, I don't think we have any money left in the
So,
general fund for repaving.
So there's 66,375 left on the grant.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the price of Basin that gave us what was running late?
The 20,000?
Right around 20 is what they had estimated.
We're gonna put it back out to bid, but really should mill it and pave it, not just do an overlay,
So that's not what they did.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go
But there's
through,
enough money, yeah.
yeah, there's enough, actually, what was the one section that we did down there, 121? The 160 you said,
Where?
the section that we did with the grant already,
130.
Yeah, 160,
Or 133.
163.
163.
What's this 133?
That's
Oh,
what we
oh.
did first,
Okay, that's the reimbursement for that.
That was the price that we got.
for that whole section.
Well, how do you remember how long that section was?
I know, but I can get that.
But on the grant, there would be 66,375 left because our 20% of it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so we would have about $65,000 left.
I was thinking if we're gonna do it, if we're gonna go through all of it, then we'll do it the right way, not the wrong way, so.
And do the full,
Do the full mill and pave. Otherwise, you just put it
Yeah,
in.
the grant money is still available. But it has to be used by. What?
it would be, I believe it would be June of 2026.
Okay, so, because
So we have some time.
what you had said was, It said by October 15th.
Oh, that's what I have for the pavement to be,
Oh,
Yeah.
could be the,
yeah,
yeah.
so. No,
So the section, sorry, David. Do we have to rewrite the bid if we mail in?
Yeah, I have a copy of milling, shim, and the top coat, so.
We really could do it less of a mill too. We could drop our mill down to an inch instead of 2 inches. Or was it 3 inches that we did?
We did 3 inches,
We could do it we go to 2 inches, it may save a lot of money, cause you're not putting this much material back in.
so mill 2 inches,
It was 3
That's
inches
what
on
you
the section that was done between the bridges.
yeah,
Yeah, I would just do the 3 inches, 'cause then you can do a 2 inch base and an inch of top. And that just makes.
Okay, it came out very nice.
Yeah, it just, that's the way to do it. Unless you're gonna tear the road completely up every time,
What was it gonna
that's the way
cost?
to go.
More than $65,000.
um,
Did we have a price per foot, within on it?
I do have estimates. Using his money, the pricing that he gave on the last one.
And we're still talking about the 600 plus the 800.
Even if we can only do one of them, one of those sections for that price, it's still, I think it'd be worth doing it the right way and then. Leaving the least of the bad, at least one, or no one's not as bad for next year. I mean,
So. So this is with the 3 inch. So it'd be the same, same way they did the rest of it. So 85 times 117. Be. Why is that not working?
What's the price
There
per?
we go. 117 was the price per ton. So then. And then price per square yard was $1.90. So that would be. Phew. That would be the total for that 600-foot section. 32,751,
So we're real close, huh?
and then plus this,
We'll be over a little bit, but.
And what section you doing, the 600 or 850?
and we're gonna be both.
well, we can do both and we're not gonna go much over, and then, I don't know. See what the numbers, I'll wait to see what the number is.
Which one's worse?
The section past the Russian, which I believe that one is,
So one, 8.
yeah, that's the longer one.
The 850.
Yeah, I mean, the one right in front of the Russians, there's like 5 or 6 deep holes. But we can keep putting patching them for the rest of the year and then next year. Do that, I'd like to do, we have a lot, I mean, there's a lot more paving to go, so.
46 somewhere.
So that 46 plus the 32, so 51, like around 80.
So
So what's, what we would be doing 66, 375 plus our 20% match. Do that part of the time.
Yeah. Do you have the email that I had sent yesterday?
Yeah. I do, but my glasses.
Yeah.
What do we do that? Too much.
we can ask them, that would change the price quite a bit.
Originally, you were
So 67, plus 79.
so the 20% match is 79.
Uh,
The milling part actually really is the expensive part, because they're taking the millings and bringing them back to the,
Yeah.
Cold River, and Cold River gave them a discounted price on the asphalt.
our
Because they're reusing
be
it.
49.
So,
Time match for this plus what's already paid would be 49,000.
Yeah, that's not gonna be possible.
Yeah.
What if we just did 2 inches? Not to make you do math, but already kinds in a row, but
Okay, so the top. The shim would still be 2 inches.
just do a mill 2 inch, to put 2 inches back.
Okay, these are all calculated at 3 inches.
Okay.
so. It would make it more complicated, but, you know, if we put a bid out and we ask them to do both parcels separately, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then at 2 and 3 inches. And then be able to decide that we do both at 2, could we do both at 3?
One and two, 1 and 3.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it's not
It's a little,
Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean,
The more writing, or like,
no, but that's fine, we could do
it's
Like,
for language, but we're gonna
yeah,
kind of,
like a hypothetical,
yeah.
give us an idea.
Yeah, we might decide that we could only do 1 at 3 inches, we might decide 1 at 3 and 1 at 2.
Mm-hmm.
They might come in, or we could do both at 3, we don't know.
yeah.
Or if we don't do anything.
Yeah,
That's an option.
Well,
I thought about that too.
but we wanna use that grant money, right? I mean,
We don't have a chance for any more grant money in 12, 20, 30.
That's right.
Through this program. Yeah.
So I mean, if we don't do it, then we're looking at 5 years.
With
4.5 years.
with no grant funding, it would all have to be town funded.
Mhm.
What are we putting away here?
Right now, I think it's 200. I think,
Now, and we could also do the bids and still decide that
that
we're
would,
not gonna move forward.
Yeah, sure.
Or we could get the information and then make the decision.
Mhm.
That's certainly one of the options, is that we don't do it.
It's not gonna hurt. I think the way he worded it with the doing the multiple options. Do it, and then if we can't do it, we can't do it.
So one scenario is with the 3 inches and then the other scenario is with just 2 inches.
Yeah.
Right, but only one to do both sections
Mhm.
and right. That might be difficult for them, but. Alright, so.
Wait,
maybe
you're saying-
even a little more complicated.
Why get, explain more about like separately, like we do one and then they come back and do the other?
No,
We have
that-
2 different sections, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
And. The grant might not cover both, but it might, so if we ask them to do both. As separate, but then there may be economy of scale, so we may have to ask them to do each separate and then. Together, if that would make it, you know, less costly.
that or we just do the 850-foot one and
That's the.
not the 600 one. That's the
600?
or
One
we
is
just
sure.
put-
What, sorry, yeah.
we just put a top coat on like we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that, but I mean, I don't know, it might only last 5 years.
So the section right in front of
Well, we
the,
weren't getting money.
Yeah,
so section right in front of the farm, just top coat. And then the one farther down on the corner there would be 2 or 3 inches. Is that what you're
can we
saying?
afford to do that? What was the top coat for just that one?
When you say top coat, what does that mean?
They're just gonna mill each end of it, and they're gonna put 1 inch of asphalt in the whole thing. So they're just gonna mill it just like 50 feet of it, so that they can taper it in, so the road doesn't have a hump in it.
Right.
And there's just be 1 inch of asphalt on top of what's already there, so they're gonna fill in the holes that are there. plus with the extra 1 inch out there, I mean, it will ride nice, but
Maybe not last as long.
it just doesn't last as long, that's the thing.
So John has said, I think that we've had that done sometimes and it's gone longer than.
Sometimes it works, over on Route 35, they did it a lot of times, because when we put that culvert in, the asphalt was 12 inches thick.
Oh.
That's not supposed to be like that,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous. That's just over the years, just put it in more down.
More-
Well,
I've seen
well, I don't wanna
houses.
get into the weeds with that, like, why would they do that?
Because they didn't have money to mill it, so they just kept dumping more asphalt on top of it to put a Band-Aid on it. They just patching it up for, the last couple of years, and it's great now, except for the part where when you gotta work on the road, you gotta dig all the way through all that. But
Well, finishes is a lot.
I like to mill it than pave it, and you're not creating any more than
Right.
you already have.
So. Is the cleanest way to do the worst section and get it, because we were gonna do that already, right? We were gonna do it on the general fund. This would be, if we did the same thing and milled it, you know, the 3 inches on the worst section, that would probably come in under this amount.
The only thing that makes me feel decent about if we did do a shim coat down through there is the material underneath the road, right, for both those sections is really good, dry, gravelly material, so the road really doesn't move a lot there, so. I mean, it's entirely up to your guys' decision. The shim coat could last, I mean, I honestly have minimum of 6 years last nicely. Or it could last longer, I mean, it might be worth just shimming it and,
Not to bring flood into it, but these two sections are also.
that's true also, it might be worth just shimming it then.
Because, 2 years ago, we did right in front of the field, but.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that section, yeah,
maybe we should just shim it then,
we're basically doing around that section that got flooded.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So you shim it, you wait 5 years, that's when we're gonna get our other monies, 5 years.
Yeah, no, you did redo the whole
And
section,
then we.
although in 5 years, hopefully we'll have before then, but. When we get done with this down here, 121, I'll watch go to Homeville and up through here. This and Homeville are my next two priorities, those need it so bad.
But we can still keep putting money aside in the general
Right.
fund,
Yeah.
so. it's not like
We hold that on the hill where it's big.
No, that part I'm okay with right now, but the actual village itself, I'd like to redo from the dirt up to the old schoolhouse, but. This, I think if we're putting $200,000 a year away, we should be able to do all the way up to, we had a Milltown up here with blacktop stops. And out 121 and do that all for next year, I think we can. Then the village and Cedar Hill Road, I'd like to do that, but
Mm.
I think we can do all those and still have a little money left over next year. So,
And does any of this, do we put any money away, like capital funds?
We don't, but John and I had kind of talked about talking to Hardy this year and seeing if that's a possibility.
Mm.
Right,
So if we just go, this is where it gets a little tricky, because we've already asked Basin just to do the mill, just that like 1 inch.
Mhm.
So
whether or not they're gonna even respond.
Well, you're gonna fill up the column.
I'm worried that if this goes out to a formal bid, they might get a little grouchy because we've already contacted them for pricing and scheduling.
I guess my thought is to stay with Basin,
And then we lose grant funding.
and we lose the grant funding.
Well, we wouldn't be able to put this under grant because it's not following our procurement policy.
But you said something about. I thought the last email was to adjust it.
We can't because
We
our,
can't.
language doesn't support it.
right,
So I think if we explain to them that, you know, we have this opportunity with the grant, come up,
with Basin money.
right,
Mhm.
but,
I'd call them before we put it down.
but it's, right, but that we give them a heads up and say, hey. We just became aware of this, we just updated
Mhm.
that, you know, we have this opportunity to use grant money, but because of the original verbiage. to do that, we have to put it out there,
Yeah,
you know, we mean no disrespect or we're
Yeah.
not trying to, we really, think they did a great job and we like the work, but take advantage of when we have.
We need to go through that
We have to
process.
go through the process.
okay,
I think they will understand that.
I would hope so, they've been really great to work with.
Yeah, but it would be great to give them a heads up, I think.
Yeah, probably would have heard you before we put it out to bed.
No, for sure, I think I would call them right away.
Yeah.
Let them know.
And, we gotta go through the bid process appropriately, but that was a separate thing we talked to them about.
Yeah. Right,
And I don't think there was any ill intent on our part, we just got new information from the state of law.
yeah, I agree. So it would be just to do the shim.
I think that's, yeah,
Also, the section.
yeah, then it both gets it both done. We can move on to the next section of the town that needs to be done, so.
I think that's a good financial decision, I think it won't put us too far in a bad spot.
And who knows, we might get 10 years out of it, so.
Yeah,
Like I said, the road's pretty solid and doesn't show.
Yeah, even during the floods, it never, the blacktop never, it broke up.
It's really on the edge, but it.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay, so.
So you're gonna shim both sides of 600 and 850 feet?
We're gonna put out a good proposal to do it.
mhm,
Or,
No,
I guess we need a motion, but.
That's basically what we asked them to do.
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, let's stick with that,
And we then are able to use the 66,370. Correct?
sorry, say that again.
So we're able to use the 66,375.
Yeah, if we go through the bid process, yes.
And then we have to do a 20% match on the
Yeah.
Mhm,
total thing.
mhm.
And that likely will come in well under the 66.
Yeah, I think so, for sure.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, and I
Yeah.
think we're just straightforward with basing those on the situation.
Okay,
And I think, I remember on bids, they came in pretty competitive.
they were very, yeah, it wasn't a large margin. And they do really good work.
Originally, I thought they were misremembering that they were gonna do that quickly, because they're already here, but.
we didn't make a decision fast enough.
Well, they were going to, but then they had to move back to Keene,
Okay.
so,
Also probably a good thing that they didn't, cause otherwise we wouldn't have got the grant.
right, we would have been in the.
So this might be better for them anyway.
Right,
Because the estimate they gave us was probably based on being here.
right,
Yeah, may change, yeah.
yeah, pricing very much good change. So we would do a motion to. Yeah, contact Basin Brothers and let them know about the grant funding. And then put out to bid for the 1-inch shim.
So motion to notify Basin Brothers that we became aware of new funding information, that we have to go through the bid process to take advantage of the available bid. And we will be putting out to RFP for the 1-inch for the 600 and 800 foot sections, 840 foot sections. Second.
Yeah. Okay, motions been presented. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you, that, I think having a discussion like that is really helpful.
Yeah.
For me at least.
Yeah, I think it's good to talk through the options and understand, Cody's perspective on
Mhm.
what is beneficial and,
Mhm.
the balance of, additional work, what I was talking about last and.
Yeah.
And the changing agreement with Basin Brothers as well. that we have it.
And do you know who you're gonna speak to at Basin?
Yeah, I'll call Jeff.
I think you've got to be pretty understanding.
I think so too. He met with Colby on last spring
Mm-hmm.
and really helped us with just kind of. For me, I'll speak for myself, just understanding how this whole process works, so
Yeah,
he's been incredible to help.
I'm sure they work with municipalities a lot, and there are scenarios they come up with this.
Oh, I'm
With funding.
sure, yeah, yeah.
So are they gonna be, say they get the bid, are they gonna be able to do it before, what is it, November 1st?
15th.
I have in here October
Oh,
15th,
cover, yes.
so we can change that date, I just didn't.
I'd rather not push it out further than that. But, I mean, worst case scenario, if you didn't do it till next spring, is it really the end of the world?
Yeah.
Cause it's not like we're, I mean, the grant's paying for it, so.
And the grant's good till,
They could do that and our next year's paving all in one go. Is what I'm thinking.
June 26th.
Say that, we have October 15th, I mean, if they just couldn't do
But if
it.
they can't get it done by then we'll
Reevaluate.
reevaluate till
But do
next
we-
year.
Do we wanna say by October 15th or propose it? You know,
Yeah.
a date they can achieve.
I'm so sorry, okay, this award. This grant ends December of 2026,
Okay,
so we
Yeah.
have all of next year.
Yeah, cause I mean, if they can't, and then they come do it next year while they're here. I don't know.
yeah.
Should we just try for the October 15th?
I tried, so
No,
it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
yeah, I think so,
Yeah.
somebody will feel,
Yeah,
fit it in, right, that gives us,
it is already on Basin Brothers radar, so hopefully they
right,
are okay with that.
Okay,
And then I have just a quick note. Proposals will be due back September 2nd, which is the day of our next select board
Mhm.
meeting. Which is a very quick turnaround for contractors to get these back into us. But I'll call today, at Basin Brothers, and then I'll send it out to a few other companies. And just let you know.
And then we decide on
We would open that on the 2nd.
second, open them and then decide on the next meeting, which just be the 15th.
Unless we call a special meeting. Just to discuss meeting.
we can decide if we need to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, for sure, yeah. I think we wait to see how many bids we get and then decide if we need to have another meeting in between.
so is there anything here we have to fill out?
No,
Or is it just gonna wait?
no, I will call Basin Brothers and then put this out to bid.
And so now it's, at least how this is written, with the Danish come over.
Yes. The copy that you have is the 1-inch thing.
Mhm.
The second one I have 850 times 22 times 3, I just need to change 3 to a 1. But that's it.
Any other comments or questions on this? Oldie, you're all set?
We're ready to go back to work.
Any other business that we need to discuss? Road wise,
Let's spread gravel today. Spread gravel and grading.
And, I saw the, I guess, culvert sections that were sitting in the yard down there. That's what you were talking about earlier.
Oh, yes, yeah, he's backfilling, I'm gonna go up and check on him real quick, and then I'm gonna go back to the guys.
I mean, up at Hinkley.
Yeah. We gotta figure out, I'm worried we're gonna be working Saturday. So, we might have to work Saturday, if I work Saturday, I'll just take Friday off or something next week to make up for it.
Why do you have to work?
This is to bring the road level back up, but then they changed that, you probably can explain better why, and they changed it.
Yeah, when when Scott reviewed the engineering plans,
Mhm.
the grade of the finished grade of the road had to be brought up.
Oh, okay.
And so the town's gonna have to bring gravel in. Jamie agreed that he would spread it, but he's gonna need trucks coming in and out with gravel to dump it. Is that right?
Yeah, I think he's gonna have his truck running and I'm gonna have 2 cars running, or our only 2 left.
And the
Running.
reason for Saturday is because Jamie has not a super hard deadline. But we really gotta try to get that road open as soon as we can,
Yeah,
so.
Okay, the other issue is, payment. Is the grant fully gonna pay him for the extra ledge they took out?
I'm still working with FEMA. I have to write up a letter with dimensions and a very clear explanation for the amount of ledge.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to do that right away, to get working with FEMA.
So do we have an idea of what that figure is gonna be?
Yeah, the amount of ledge that they agreed on was 152 yards. So that's $60,000, 60,800,
the pile was 100, what was that?
190.
190, and we got him to agree on 20% off. Because of the fluff factor, so. That saves a lot of money right there.
I will say, Colby had a lot of discussions with Jamie about this, just
So
to
50 low.
just to agree on this amount.
Mhm.
It's huge, I mean, if we were at 190, that's almost $80,000 that the town would have had to.
So, we're not sure the 60,800 is gonna be covered by.
I need to work with FEMA for that, it should be, but I'm not gonna sit here and say yes, absolutely. Because it's an additional cost.
So if that doesn't,
Bill helping with that, he seems to know
He hadn't been
the process pretty well.
a lot, but I have had a lot of conversations with him, so he's up to speed on it. If I run into an issue with it not getting approved, I will definitely ask him for assistance.
so if we have. So if it doesn't go through and we're stuck with $60,800, where's that coming from?
It hasn't been an option I've entertained because we've been working with FEMA so much on this. That it's written in all of our scope of work that there will be an extra ledge fee. The quantity is the piece that
Okay.
was never agreed on.
Mhm. Yeah, to start getting the project and get into it.
It's really hard to tell without the ground being disturbed, so.
Well, thank you, Kobe, for all the discussions with Jamie.
Yeah.
20% off, that's a help.
That's a big help.
Um, mm,
I just have to get you to talk about those dimensions real quick. I have them all right now, I just need you to.
Yeah.
Any other questions on Hinkley Brook? No other questions on roads? Public comment?
There is no public.
Nobody's out there. Next meeting, for select board would be September 2nd. It's a Tuesday, not a Monday, at 6 p.m. And I need a motion to adjourn.
So
Okay. So thank you, everybody, for coming and taking time to do this.